WWE. Take a look at this. This is the next WWE superstar right here. Okay? I am the future. I am the best. I am tough enough to compete with the other people and win the dream of being a WWE superstar. Going on to headline WrestleMania. Going on to be a Hall of Famer. I have what it takes. I have the mentality, the guts, the passion, and the glory. I am tough enough. Are you ready for me, WWE? Are you ready for me?
We love it raw!
Hi, this is We Love It Raw with A.S. Caldero, Chris Coury, the future, and V-Ness. Please subscribe, listen, share, tag, make people hear this. This is a great show. Thank you guys. We love you.
We love it raw!
Welcome to We Love It Raw. Extreme Rules 2015, month after WrestleMania. Here is Chris Coury, the future, with Mr. Caldero. Welcome back, Chris Coury.
Thank you.
Grace us with your statements.
So, Sunday was Extreme Rules. It's the one night of the year that the WWE has no rules, no limits, and no boundaries. Anything goes. And trust me, there was a lot that went on. I'll tell you that. First off, the Chicago street fight. Ambrose and Harper. Tell me that wasn't good.
I didn't care, to be honest.
Oh, you didn't care that they drove over in the middle of Chicago?
It's hokey to me. I wasn't feeling it, so I'm gonna be very negative.
I thought it was good.
I'm gonna be very, very.
I thought it was funny because
honestly negative about this stuff.
I thought it was funny because the way they did it. You know, they could have ended up in, you know, in U.S. Taylor Field. They could have ended up in Wrigley. They could have ended up in the United Center. They could have ended up anywhere.
I appreciate the intent to make them superstars, but I'm a little impatient with the story that built out of nothing. I am a WWE fan to the heart, but the entertainment part is more important to me than the wrestling part.
Right.
If you watch a film and you just watch two guys fight and the movie's over, wouldn't it be boring?
Yeah.
When there's no build.
Exactly.
There's no character outline to why they're fighting.
Right.
They just had a fight out of nowhere. And I love Luke Harper. And I love Dean Ambrose. But they're just like, what are we going to do with these guys? Here's a match. A street fight. And I appreciate what they tried to do, but I guess they're not giving us a storyline because they know that we're worn out from WrestleMania season.
Mm-hmm.
And either way, we're going to be unhappy. So they probably are giving us a stinker pay-per-view just to be like, you're going to think this sucks anyway because nothing's going to compare to WrestleMania.
Right.
So here's a stinker on purpose, and payback are probably better.
Yeah.
That's what I'm assuming. Is there any matches that you simply enjoyed other than that match?
The main event.
Before the main event, I want to say the Divas match was spectacular.
It was boring as hell.
Divas, Las Vegas.
Boring as hell.
What? You see, that's where me and you differ. That was the only match other than the main event that I cared about.
That was boring
that
as
I
hell.
even focused on and watched.
It was boring as hell.
Guess you're not into Divas.
I am, but that match was boring.
I disagree wholeheartedly. Anyways.
And then the Big Show Roman Reigns, which I thought had a little bit of...
It had moments.
It had moments.
The expectations were very low for me before I started. But towards the end, I must say, the last few components with the tables and all of that, it was entertaining. And Roman Reigns has a lot of potential, but it's not there yet.
Not yet.
Like I was saying before WrestleMania, don't give him the belt. He's not ready.
He's getting there.
And he is getting there. And I'm assuming next year, this time, he's going to be the man. But it was better than I expected. So kudos to Roman Reigns.
Yeah. And then you had the main event.
The main event. Randy Orton. No RKOs allowed in a steel cage match.
Here's the funny part though. If Orton had if the RKO was banned, okay, why did Rollins use it?
That is
or was it only banned for Randy Orton and not Seth Rollins? You get what I'm saying? It was banned.
Or you can have a dumb argument by saying if it's done by Randy Orton, it's an RKO, hence the R in it.
Correct.
If someone else does it, it's the Diamond Cutter. So,
or as Rollins put it last night on Raw, the SKO.
There we go. The R means Randy can't do it.
The S means Seth Rollins can do it.
Yeah. So, and I did enjoy the match, but
I didn't know what King was going to do, you know. But when he choke slammed Randy, I said, okay, yeah, he's going to help Rollins win the title, keep the title. I right then and there.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I see where the story's headed, and I somewhat feel good about it, but it feels like it's going to take pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view for Kane to finally get his babyface shine on.
You're going to see it next month. I bet you.
But I honestly think this is what in my head is building. He's eventually going to have a match with Seth Rollins and lose because of the Authority's going to put their hand in it.
Of course.
Then this is going to lead to Kane officially leaving the Authority and going against Triple H. Hopefully, in my head, it's a good booking. And let's pretend book here. Next year's WrestleMania, Triple H versus Kane. But Kane is the old Kane with the mask. And not only the old mask, not the recent, the old mask.
The old mask.
The original Kane mask.
Yes.
That would be an awesome way to end his career with an opponent at WrestleMania. Because if you think about it, Kane never had a big WrestleMania moment. He was always kind of assisting someone else having their WrestleMania
moments.
But he never, especially, I hear rumors of him retiring but being more of a background player.
Like what Triple H is.
Yes. So, I would love for Kane to get, it doesn't necessarily have to be Triple H, but give him one last WrestleMania with the old Kane mask, and that'll
do it.
Especially in WrestleMania 32, in Dallas, you need all of the fans you could possibly get.
Yeah, you're going to have over 100,000.
Because the last WrestleMania, they broke a record, but if I'm not wrong about this, they didn't fill every single seat.
Yeah, they did, actually.
I heard that they did not.
Either way, it looked like they did.
I'm sure it looks full. And it's not by much. I'm not saying that it's like a crazy number. It may have been like 100.
Maybe.
And you can't notice 100.
No, you can't.
So, I'm just saying that for next year,
it
has to be star match after star match after star.
Especially if you're going to get over, especially if you're in the home of the Cowboys and you're going to get over 100,000 people there. You know, because that's why Jerry Jones built that stadium. To get record crowds. You had it for the NCAA tournament a couple of years ago. You had it for the ACM, the American Country Music Awards, just about a week and a half ago, I think. You know, and you got it for You got it for the Cowboys, for games out in Cowboys. Why not do the same thing like you said for WrestleMania? But you got to have it where there's a hell of a lot of 5-star matches. If you want to get every single seat filled,
well, yeah,
5-star match after 5-star match.
It really has to be, like, as far as WrestleMania 31, the build-up to it wasn't amazing, but the actual WrestleMania itself was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
So, I think they need to make sure that they got both bases covered next year.
Correct.
They need an awesome build, and they need an awesome WrestleMania. Because if they don't do... Because they're attempting to break the all-time record for WrestleMania 3.
Which was 93,000 people.
And if they fail at that...
Oh, God.
That doesn't make the brand of WWE look amazing.
Oh, no.
So,
if you can't fill AT&T Stadium, no, there's no hope for them, then.
it's just gonna be a real downer on the following WrestleMania because it's gonna be like, okay, we gotta go smaller in the future because we can't fill up a stadium.
You can't fill up a big stadium.
A huge stadium like the Dallas one.
Like a potential record breaker.
But to be honest, the match itself, Randy Orton and Seth Rollins, I don't remember too many spots. I don't think the match was amazing.
No.
I think the WrestleMania match was better.
Oh,
that
God,
they had.
Yeah.
There was too much distractions. The cage, the J&J security,
the guarding them, as I call them, idiots.
It was too much hokiness.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And it's building Seth Rollins' arc for a future great big match. And I get that. But it's kind of like filler. It's like, let's put this here. Right. We can't give him an awesome match every time. Type of thing. So, you want to mention anything else about Extreme Rules?
The Cena match really wasn't all that. But you're gonna have one. You're gonna have one.
I fast forward through it.
You're gonna have one final match at Payback, as an I Quit match.
Yeah, I'm not interested in Rusev and Cena anymore.
And then you had the tag team titles,
which was surprising. You want to announce?
Not those New Day guys.
It's a new day.
Sucks. They suck.
You're saying it wrong, like they said. You're saying it wrong.
I don't care. They suck. They sucks. New Day sucks. And then the kickoff when you had what was supposed to be Bryan versus Barrett for the Intercontinental title turned out to be Neville versus Barrett, which actually shocked me pretty good because we finally got to see him in a pay-per-view, and he's good. I like him.
Adrian Neville was awesome. He's the one that took the NXT championship from Bo Dallas in NXT, and he had it for a very long time. Until he lost it to Kevin Owens.
Oh, so he was the one that lost it to Owens. Okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Sami Zayn beat
Adrian
Neville. Then Adrian Neville moved up and
lost it to
Kevin Owens beat Sami Zayn for it.
Okay.
And Sami Zayn has never been the same since.
Really?
There's actually a picture online that surfaced of Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens together holding the championship belts together.
Wow.
So that was a cool picture to be like, this can be you if you continuously do good here. Because Seth Rollins is the first NXT champion ever. So that's kind of showing the path. Look, buddy, you play your cards right, you keep doing your thing, you can be who I am.
Exactly.
And I may have said this before, but Seth Rollins is the first champion that we've seen in years that's a new upcoming champion.
Yeah, you don't see that often.
It's been at least 3 years, right? That there's been that they put the title on somebody that's not a veteran.
Besides, when you had with Bret Hart, then you handed it. Then you gave it to Austin.
But how long ago was that?
Oh, that was in the 90s, though. But I'm
so
saying,
that's how long ago there was faith in a newcomer.
Wow, yeah, you don't see it often no more.
And even when they give the belt to Benoit and Eddie, it wasn't like they were new.
No, they were
veterans. Took them 10 years.
But it was good to see, Benoit with a title, a major title, and Eddie Guerrero with a big title. Because they were treated like shit in WCW.
They were treated just like stuntmen.
Exactly. And you come to the WWF back then, and Vince made them into superstars. So, seeing that, because you would think of them, okay, they went over from one company to the WWF back then. You would think, okay, they're newcomers. You know what I'm saying? And they gave them the belt in due time. That's what they did with Seth Rollins. Okay, he made the Shield. He broke the Shield. He was a tag team champion with Roman Reigns. What I would have done was what they should do with Roman Reigns is he was a tag team champion. Make him the Intercontinental champion, United States champion, and then the WWE champion. Work up that ladder.
I think that Roman Reigns should have won King of the Ring.
Why wasn't he in the King of the Ring?
That's the thing, that he's booked too high. before he can get his credentials up.
Look at Ambrose last night. He was in the King of the Ring. Okay, he lost by disqualification and all that.
Yeah, but at the same time, Ambrose is rightly so where he's supposed to be. And Roman Reigns, they boosted him up before he was ready.
Probably because you want to know why? Because he's a member of a historic wrestling family. Let's build this kid right up to the top.
And he has a good look and blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot of examples of when they give shots to people when they're not ready. Look at Bobby Lashley.
Oh, yeah, wow.
He's in TNA trying to scrap up any type of credibility now. Because they gave him something when he wasn't ready to be a superstar. Yeah. He may be a good wrestler, but if you don't have it all, you're going to lose in this game, man. Right. You can't just have half of a quality.
And now going back to Sunday night with Rollins defending the title against Randy Orton, you know, it's good to the fact that they didn't give it to Randy Orton. It's good that they kept it with Seth Rollins because, like you said, it's going to build up his credibility. It's going to build up his potential to, you know what, this guy can actually main event a SummerSlam or a Survivor Series, a Royal Rumble, or WrestleMania on his own.
And whoever doesn't like Seth Rollins, guess what? You're not supposed to like Seth Rollins. He's being the slimy heel that we haven't seen in how many years?
God, ages.
You're supposed to not like Seth Rollins. God, why do you think that he waves when he comes out? And
the last slimy heel we had was Edge.
And that was and he was already a veteran before he started even being in the championship match area. He was already a tag team legend before he even,
because he was with Edge, he was with Christian.
He was in the Brood.
He was in the Brood. He was with Randy Orton, rated RKO. So he had his credibility. He had his potentials.
He wasn't just a one-shot dummy. You know, like, here's my 3 moves. He had a lot of diversity in his background.
And Rollins has the same thing.
And Rollins is, I agree. Rollins, if you look at, there's a picture online that has every belt he has ever had, like ROH and all the other places. It's just like, he's the most decorated wrestler in recent history. So it's like, whoever's hating on Seth Rollins, go do your research, and maybe you will stop hating him a little bit. Because there's a clip online that there's a fat guy just standing next to the ring, and he jumps on the fat guy's stomach and flips around and lands on the other guy.
Wow.
He uses a fat guy to flip over and land.
Wow.
And all of these same people hating on Seth Rollins were the same people rooting for him when he was in the Shield doing flips.
Right. Now watch Extreme Rules on the network and you'll see why we like Seth Rollins. Because in that match Sunday night, okay, like I told you, it wasn't a 5-star match. I give it a 3.5. But it's good to see it because, like I said, it's going to build him up to headlining a SummerSlam in August, Survivor Series in November, the Rumble in January, WrestleMania in March or April, whenever they decide to hold
it. That's so true because if you just give a 5-star match every pay-per-view, you're not going to be impressed when SummerSlam comes around.
What's the point of giving a 5-star match when you want... Because, like I said, WrestleMania is the ultimate climactic event. It's the biggest event.
And he delivered in every single main event.
Oh, yeah.
Royal Rumble and also Survivor Series. And WrestleMania, like, he delivers every time. Whenever there's a big main event, he delivers every single time.
Right. And now, like I'm saying, with WrestleMania being the biggest event ever... Bigger than the Super Bowl and the World Series and the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup. Okay, bigger than that. He put on a great match with Randy Orton. That curb stomp he was going to perform on Orton was crazy. But then it turned into a sick-ass RKO. But who would have thought at that night in California he was going to cash in the Money in the Bank? Nobody knew that. I had a hint about it, but I didn't know it was going to come true. I thought maybe they were going to have him hold on to that briefcase till, you know, the next Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Because by then you have to cash it in. So they built him, they got him going as a WrestleMania. Hey, you know what? This guy is going to be main event material. He went against two of the big names in the WWE. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, the Royal Rumble winner.
He also, in Royal Rumble, he faced John Cena.
And Brock Lesnar in a triple threat match.
So the top three baby faces in the company, he already faced.
He's beat them.
And in creative ways.
Oh, in many creative ways.
Because, not for nothing, Seth Rollins is meant for a triple threat match. Because he's the slimy heel that knows how to take advantage when someone's hurt.
And that's what's going to happen when Rollins faces Randy Orton and Roman Reigns at Payback.
We love it raw. We might as well jump into it. Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Voted by you,
The fans.
the WWE Universe. So let's elaborate on that. Did you vote?
Yeah, I voted triple threat.
And Seth is doing a good job of acting pissed, but he shines brighter than anybody in a triple threat match.
Now, here's my question I'm going to ask you. When they head into Baltimore, when they head to Baltimore in 3 weeks for the Payback pay-per-view, will Rollins prevail?
Yes, Rollins is going to prevail at least until SummerSlam.
Who is he going to face at SummerSlam?
That I don't know. I honestly...
Brock Lesnar.
That is very much...
Because Brock Lesnar is quote-unquote suspended indefinitely by Stephanie.
And he only shows up for the big time pay-per-views. So
right. So
that does make a lot of sense.
So these pay-per-views, like Sunday night, May 17th, June, July. The Scrappy must pick up pay-per-views. August 23rd, you're coming to Brooklyn for SummerSlam. And hasn't been in the New York area for a very long time. So what better way to have Seth Rollins lose the WWE title than at SummerSlam in a very hostile crowd, may I tell you, with Brooklyn, because you know how we are in New York City.
Brooklyn, we go hard, we go hard.
They go hard. They go harder than what they do.
Brooklyn, period, is known as very aggressive individuals.
And they go harder. New York City crowds go harder than any other state in the United States. We're the most hostile one.
And we are the land of Madison Square Garden, where it's kind of the God place to be. So New York is pretty much the wrestling capital of the world.
Right.
If you think about
And what surprised me, though, was like, sorry if I'm veering off the topic a little bit with the main event and all that, but why haven't they held a pay-per-view at Madison Square Garden? I understand the Barclays Center attracts a little bit more, but you got the Mecca of sports entertainment, the Garden. Why can't you hold the pay-per-view there? I'm surprised SummerSlam wasn't held at the Garden.
I think here's two good reasons. One, they can do a house show there and make it a spectacle without cameras. Like, Madison Square Garden is so big that you can just go there and it's an event in its own and you don't even need cameras.
I'll give you an example. Look at February the 27th. I went. It was Hogan Appreciation Night. I didn't know, because all I know, it was a house show. But then I found out, okay, it's Hogan Appreciation Night. I'm looking forward to it, because I grew up idolizing Hulk Hogan and all that. And it drew a big, big crowd.
That's exactly my point. They don't need an event to bring in people for Madison Square Garden. Because it's kind of like, let's push other venues that we know need the help. And also, if you notice, every time they do an event in Madison Square Garden, it kind of looks cluttered.
It does.
With that WrestleMania that John Cena came out like last or something like that, or close to last, the ring and the ramp was like 5 steps.
Oh yeah, what WrestleMania was that? I forgot.
And it's like it's not it's not a sexy looking ramp, is what I'm saying.
No,
it looks very crowded. And for live events, I think it's the perfect, because you're gonna sell out every time.
Of course.
Because it's Madison Square Garden, and they're gonna do a big deal about every match because it's Madison Square Garden.
Of course.
So I think they're playing it smart. It's kind of like, we know we don't need to overshine Madison Square Garden because we don't even need to promote it, and it's gonna sell out and it's gonna be a great show. That's my honest opinion.
That's your honest opinion. But getting back to Raw with this main event, it's interesting because I see, like you mentioned in the Extreme Rules review, a matchup coming up with Kane and Seth Rollins. And it's getting to a point where Kane's just going to snap and just put a beating to Seth Rollins. Because I saw it last night. Kane's getting a little agitated. Because Rollins is acting like a little immature, selfish bastard. He is. Now, do you build it up to be for the WWE title? No.
I think so, but he's not going to win.
No.
I think they're going to do it just to the sake of doing it, but he's going to lose.
Of course.
And that's just one more opponent Seth Rollins defeated.
Of course.
So that way, Kane gets a title rub, and also Seth Rollins gets a rub with Kane.
But you want to know what also make Rollins really legitimate? Put him defending the WWE title against The Undertaker. Okay, he's held the belt before, but put him in there with a sure to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but you can't put two baby faces together unless it's epic. Epic babyface versus babyface.
But that's probably never going to happen because I do see Undertaker retiring.
And Undertaker and Kane already fought at WrestleMania.
No, I'm not talking Undertaker Kane.
Oh, okay. Who are you talking about?
Seth Rollins.
And Kane WrestleMania?
No. Seth Rollins and Undertaker may be at a WrestleMania. But I doubt you're going to see that because I think Undertaker's going to call it quits after next year.
Yeah, that's very out there. But I definitely think it will be a good match because Seth is an architect and Undertaker is a ringleader. So with their two powers combined, I think that'll be a good match. But can I reflect on other things about Raw for a second?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care.
Very disappointing that Bray Wyatt's opponent is Ryback.
Yeah, I was going to say, what the...
Very disappointed.
I was saying, what the hell?
It started optimistic for me because Ryback was fighting Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas loses.
Thank God.
And his big brother comes to save him, Bray Wyatt.
I'm like, yo, what the hell? I'm like, and then he cut a promo like later on in Raw. I'm like, what?
I've never been so uninterested in a Bray Wyatt promo.
I'm like, yo, what the hell was this?
That's my number one newcomer. But right now,
you're gonna have Bray Wyatt against Ryback?
Oh my God!
You're killing Bray Wyatt.
What is Ryback gonna say that's remotely interesting?
Feed me more.
Ryback is a monster. He needs to be booked as a monster. And you're going to put him against Bray Wyatt, which is going to talk circles around him. And this is another point of this is filler season.
Oh my God.
This is like, what do we do with all these superstars?
Exactly.
Paige is not around.
No.
Daniel Bryan's not around. And my favorite podcaster, Peter Rosenberg, that he does Cheap Heat every week, he made a great point. If you're a casual fan, you watch WrestleMania, you got Sting. You got Triple H. You got Undertaker. You got Bray Wyatt.
Right.
You got all these superstars. Then Extreme Rules. You don't have Daniel Bryan. You don't have Undertaker. You don't have Sting. You don't have Bray Wyatt. You don't have Undertaker. You don't have Triple H wrestling.
You don't have Brock Lesnar. You don't have nobody.
You don't have Brock Lesnar. You don't even have the Intercontinental Champion fighting. And if you're a casual fan watching from WrestleMania, and then you get it free the next month, and you're like, oh, wrestling sucks.
You're like, wait a minute, I subscribed to this for free. I'm looking for an exciting Extreme Rules. Come Sunday,
this is not making me want to pay for the network.
You're like, come Sunday, you're like,
I can understand.
I cancel the network. Goodbye.
I can understand why you don't want to purchase it the following month.
I'm going back to my Netflix or my YouTube.
I'll just watch it for free online, shitty quality. That's some people.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people did after Sunday.
They watch everything we watch, but very shitty quality.
I used to do that before the network.
Same here.
But
now, I understand. I can understand that. But other than that, Raw didn't do anything for me.
And then you had the U.S. Open Challenge, which was stupid as freaking hell.
I almost yawned when you said that.
Oh, God. I was like, really? I was like, yo. I'm like, give me
I think that is cooler for a house show. like that concept of U.S. Open Challenge.
It would be good for like a...
I get that that's a cool concept for a house show, because when you have a house show, yeah, a good match. But every week that you have to announce that,
I know,
this and that.
I know. And then, you know...
I don't know. Adrian Neville's doing an awesome job.
Yeah, speaking of the King of the Ring tournament, you know...
Which is weird. They're bringing it, instead of a pay-per-view, they put it on WWE Network.
They did that last couple years ago. I think a year or two ago they did that too. But this is before the network.
Not
they had it
exclusively on the network.
No, before the WWE Network came around.
No, I'm saying this time.
Oh yeah, this time it's on the network starting tonight at 8 o'clock. But this is before the network was even mentioned. They had it on Monday Night Raw. The King of the Ring tournament. And that was the last one I remember was Sheamus winning the King of the Ring.
And I'm semi-excited about it. But since there's nothing to talk about Raw, let's talk about the awesome shows coming for the WWE Network.
Oh, yeah.
Because the WWE Network's programming is way better than what's going on
with Monday Night Raw.
With Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Combined.
For now.
For now, because, like I said, this is the slow season. And they're not going to give us an awesome pay-per-view every single month. Every single time.
The next awesome pay-per-view I think you're going to see is SummerSlam. I think that's the next one you see.
Definitely last year compared to this year, Extreme Rules was way better. Way better. I remember the WLC match.
Oh, that was great.
So that.
Well, then again, you might have a good payback.
Payback last year was awesome.
With Evolution and the Shield.
Evolution and the Shield. That, to me, was like, well, it's going to almost be a year soon that the Shield broke up.
I know. Who would have thought that?
Time flies.
I know. But
that's why I was thinking it would have been awesome to make Dean Ambrose the King of the Ring. Because you give him some accolades. Because Roman Reigns already been in like 3 main event championship matches and lost every single one.
Exactly.
At least give Dean Ambrose some,
yeah,
some shine. Give him something, but I don't know.
With the network now, last night was Jerry Springer Too Hot for TV, and that was fucking hilarious.
I didn't get to watch it, but I definitely will.
Because there's a lot of stuff that we've seen from the Attitude Eras to now.
Do you know what my speculation is for the host of Tough Enough? Is Chris Jericho.
Really?
I feel like since negotiations didn't go well with Stone Cold Steve Austin, he was going to be doing the podcast and Tough Enough. And I feel like that fell through because Austin said it on his podcast. He said, not because I didn't want to do the show, it's because I have 2 other shows that I film. Broken Skull Challenge, and I forgot some hillbilly show that's like a reality show. But he's very busy.
Yeah.
So they pretty much gave that deal to Chris Jericho. So I'm assuming he's also taking the Tough Enough reins also.
Right.
And Chris Jericho technically is one of the best in-ring competitors in the world. And of all time. If we're not talking about entertainment, we're talking about international globe-trotting Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Speaking, like I said, okay, they're not going to show Tough Enough on the WWE Network, but they're going to bring it on to USA and all that, which is great. I submitted the video.
I would love to see that video.
I have it on my phone. I'll show you.
Definitely.
I'll show you. It's freaking hilarious.
Put it on the show. Just email it to me.
Yeah, but yeah. No, you don't want to see it on the show!
You're going to hear it on the show.
Oh, no.
I need to hear it, man. Come on. People need to laugh, man.
Oh,
come on.
God.
Well, I'll put it. It'll sound better if I add it.
You really want me to do that? You really...
If I add it, it'll sound better. If you play it,
oh, Jesus. Come on, man. You're going to put the embarrassment to me there? I mean, do I still even have it? Yeah, I still have it. Yeah, I still have it. Thank God. Oh, you're going to get a kick out of it.
I'm gonna end the show with, are you tough enough, Chris Coury?
Yeah.
We're gonna give you a little surprise at the
end.
Blah. But either
blah.
way, the network, man, like awesome. Chris Jericho podcast
on Thursday night after SmackDown.
McMahon,
that's gonna be interesting.
Which, to be honest, it should have been her in the first place.
Not John Cena.
John Cena was cool, but it was very cordial. It was cool to hear stories.
Oh, you should have done like what they did with the Austin podcast.
I think Stephanie and Jericho have more of a history.
Oh, do they ever?
And they have a better back and forth.
It's going to be interesting to hear
John Cena's too, political.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because Stephanie, like I said, she's the chief brand officer for WWE. where are they going to take the WWE heading into the future, into the next century, into the next decade? Where are they going to bring it? You know.
What do you think about Mick Foley's show, Cheap Pops?
That sounds interesting.
I am kind of like in my head. I'm hoping that it's not boring because I feel like I don't know. I feel like he's entertaining, but I hope that I'm not watching this and be like, wow, he's not funny.
Exactly.
I really hope that he is sort of funny.
I'm going to find that out.
Something, because I love Mick Foley.
Of course.
I don't want to tarnish my perception of Mick Foley. And Cheap Pops, my favorite show is Cheap Heat with Peter Rosenberg. So Cheap Heat means you're a heel. Cheap Pops means you're a baby face. So I don't know. We'll see.
And then there's a show that actually premiered today with Renee Young, Unfiltered.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I didn't see it either. I have it on my watch list.
Oh, you know what I did see? Corey Graves.
I want to watch that. How is it?
It was really good. I don't really...
That was when he went to Marvel, right?
Marvel, yeah. And he went to Marvel Studios. And they showed him around. They showed him, like, actual printings from new comic books that are coming out.
What? I gotta
and
watch that.
It was really good.
How long is it?
It was like 20 minutes or something like that.
Okay, I gotta watch it.
And I'm assuming that's going to be a weekly thing.
Alright, I gotta put that on.
And I gotta watch it, what, Unfiltered?
Yeah, Unfiltered. That premiered today, I think, at 4 o'clock with Renee Young. You got the King of the Ring tonight. Tomorrow, like I said, you got Mick Foley Have a Nice Night at 8 o'clock. Then I think at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, whatever, you got the Cheap Pops on the network. You got the Jericho podcast with Steph after SmackDown Thursday night.
And Friday, the most underwhelming one.
Yeah.
Is a video package of Mayweather versus
Because you know why?
Because
they're building it up for the big fight Saturday night in MGM in Vegas.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, next week, WWE 24 comes on.
Oh, that's also awesome.
With Roman Reigns.
That looks really good. I'm really looking forward to that. That's one of the better shows they have is 24.
Yeah, I like the one they did with Dan, on
all of them. Every single one.
The WrestleMania one they did. The Booker T one I was really impressed with. This Roman Reigns one, with the clips they were showing.
With his daughter, it touched my heart.
Yeah, and you see the smile on Vince McMahon's face when he sees Roman. He sees the potential in him.
Yeah.
And Vince is probably saying, listen, take your time with Roman Reigns. Don't build him up too fast.
That's like when you meet a friend and your real friend is trying to make you like your other friend. Like him, shoving him down your throat. No, let them just build a natural
I'll give you an example.
relationship.
I'll give you an example. Speaking of Roman Reigns, with the WWE 24 coming on Monday night, next week. Take, for instance, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He won the 96 King of the Ring. Before that, he was
Stunning Steve. Oh no, he was I forgot. It was a horrible gimmick.
Yes, when he was the $1 Million Champion.
Yeah.
Wins the 96 King of the Ring. Look what he did. Went on to be a great WWE champion.
His famous quote came from the King of the Ring.
Austin 316 says, "I just whipped your ass." I love that line.
History was made then.
Oh, yeah. You talk about your son, talk about John 316. Austin 316 says, "I just whipped your ass." Famous line ever from the 96 King of the
And
Ring.
what makes that awesome is that he said that to Jake Roberts.
Exactly.
That was kind of like
alcoholic Jake Roberts.
That makes it kind of more epic because if it would have been just a nobody, it probably wouldn't have meant as much. But
So-
Jake Roberts is a legend.
So, like I said, Austin won the King of the Ring 96. Went on to win the 97 Royal Rumble. Went on to be WWF champion. Headlined numerous WrestleManias. Won the 2002 Royal Rumble. Turned heel. Sided with Vince McMahon, his longtime nemesis. Went to the Alliance during the invasion in 01.
Became the tag champs with Triple H.
And The Undertaker.
That was pretty awesome when Triple H had the Intercontinental belt, Austin had the championship belt, and they both had the tag team championships. That was that's like the best tag team I've ever seen.
So, The example I'm trying to say is this. What they did with Austin in the past, King of the Ring, Royal Rumble winner, WWF champion, Intercontinental champion, Tag Team champion. Why can't they do that with Roman Reigns? They had him win the Royal Rumble this year. Okay? They had him as a Tag Team champion. Why couldn't they follow the same road as they did with Austin back in the...
They prematurely pushed him.
Exactly. The way I see it, they should have done was, like I said, King of the Ring, which was tonight. You had him in the King of the Ring.
They should have made him the King of the Ring.
Have him King Reigns.
I definitely agree.
King Reigns.
That even sounds good. King Reigns.
Okay, Vanessa would have dropped dead in excitement for Roman Reigns. But you have King Reigns, the winner of the King of the Ring, if he was in it tonight. Okay? Then next year, you have him win the Royal Rumble.
I don't agree with that.
No?
Winning 2 years in a row, I don't agree with that.
That's how they did it with Austin.
But Austin is Austin.
I understand.
He's Stone Cold Steve
before
Austin.
he became Stone Cold...
Who else did that? 2 years in a row.
Triple H. No, not Triple H. Triple H didn't win it, I think, until 03.
In general, who won 2 Royal Rumbles? In general.
Austin.
Batista.
Did Shawn Michaels win 2?
Shawn Michaels, I believe, did win 2.
Okay, Shawn.
That's a very short list, my friend. You gonna put Roman Reigns on that list of special... I don't think that's fair.
I don't think so.
That you're gonna put him next to Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels.
No. You're right.
I think they need to go the Batista route. They fucked up with the first Royal Rumble. You need a couple years gap before you put him in the Royal Rumble and win again.
But have him as...
He can win the belt. I'm not saying he can't win the belt. I'm saying the Royal Rumble he shouldn't win.
No.
Because he's going to get the boos again.
Like he did this year.
And you're going to mess up the momentum that he has potential for.
So, like I said, they could have had him tonight win the King of the Ring and they would have put him in there. King Reigns would have been a great gimmick for him.
I just thought of this. If he could win the United States Championship and the IC Championship at the same time, you could build him that way. Have it for half a year, both belts. And then he gets a screw job finish later, loses both belts. Then you could give him the big boy belt. Then give him the belt.
Okay.
Because he has some notoriety.
Okay, speaking of that, why didn't they do that with Daniel Bryan then? You get what I'm saying?
But Daniel Bryan already had credentials out the ass. Daniel Bryan was alumni of Ring of Honor. He's like top 3 of all time. I
understand that.
Daniel Bryan paid the dues around the world. He is loved in the indie circuit. That's why he gets the yes, because he's the underdog that deserves it. Roman Reigns is the opposite. He's the guy that came up through the system, and here you go.
They're doing it then like they did with Randy Orton. Handing everything to him on a silver platter, I would think.
Yes and no. You know why? I get what you're saying with Randy Orton. But
Randy
Orton is more physically talented in the ring. He has a more natural flow in the ring.
Is that what they did?
Day one. If you seen John Cena say, first day I saw him in FCW, he looks like he's been doing it since he was born.
Okay, so when they brought John Cena up in 2002 to go against Kurt Angle, do you think they handed a lot of this shit to him?
No, not at all. John Cena didn't. Everything John Cena got, he deserves. Because he was put at the bottom of the totem pole. And he had to create a gimmick to get him over.
So the John Cena...
Roman Reigns was put together in an awesome faction and say, okay, next, you're going to be the man. That was way too quick.
Now, how did they do it with Randy Orton? So let's give an example.
Randy Orton, they gave him the IC championship first. Am I right or wrong?
Then it was tag team title gold, right? Yeah.
Either way, he got the IC belt first.
Yeah, who did he win the IC belt from?
I don't remember. I just remember they all won that one night.
Evolution had all
Armageddon, right?
I think it was Armageddon or before Armageddon.
They all had the belts.
Oh, God, that was a great night on Raw. Hunter with the world heavyweight title. Batista with the tag team
with Ric Flair.
With the tag team titles. Randy Orton with the Intercontinental title. I mean, Evolution was in gold that night.
That was one of the best moments. But I think that's all I got. You got anything else?
I got nothing else. I mean, I'm really looking forward to these shows, this week and beginning of next week. I'm really looking forward to it. If you haven't checked out the Jerry Springer show, Too Hot for TV, check it out. It's available now on the network. Don't forget, King of the Ring in less than 22 minutes.
We're filming this on Tuesday.
So when we do the show again next week, we're going to give you our thoughts on the King of the Ring winner.
And any other thoughts before we go?
Yes. Last night on Facebook, and I read it online too, Vern Gagne passed away.
Oh, yes. Rest in peace to Vern Gagne.
Vern Gagne, 89 years old. He was a veteran. He wrestled in AWA.
Everyone you could think of showed respect for Vern Gagne
yes,
last night.
Yes. No, this happened way after Monday Night Raw happened.
No, I'm saying, as far as Twitter and...
Oh, yes, yeah.
People were making dedications
for
him.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah.
Putting videos together.
Yeah,
tributing him.
Yeah, and it's going to... he was 89, 16-time world champion, tied Ric Flair. AWA, NWA, he never wrestled for WWE. He wanted to, but never got the opportunity to. But, yeah, he's a WWE Hall of Famer. So, and you hear a lot about Vern Gagne whenever you watch Raw sometimes, or SmackDown, or pay-per-views, or if you read about him, you're going to learn a lot. I mean, this guy has been through it all. He's been through every company except for WWE, but he was one of the best, and, he was 89 years old, and, rest in peace to Vern Gagne, the best Hall of Famers I can remember.
And to close the show, I also have concerns as far as the views, and Chris Coury also. Hey, I understand. The views are horribly low.
Like I mentioned last week.
I understand that. But at the same time, it's partly my problem because I haven't had the time to properly go through the channels of promoting myself. And also, it's also attributed to it's a slow season, especially right now. And, man, we just gotta find a way to spin this in a positive way. Everyone that's listening, we appreciate you. We appreciate your comments.
We haven't had comments in a long time.
If you can share, tell a buddy, tell them about the show. We do this for our passion. We don't make any money here. We do it because we love doing it.
Speaking of money, I can go for some money right now.
He can go for some money. So he's going to be at 34th Street with a skirt.
Fuck you.
And it's going to say, the future's here.
Fuck you.
On his skirt.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, baby.
Fuck you.
34th Street.
Fuck you.
Herald Square.
You fucking punk. You're a sick bastard.
Oh, I'm just joking,
Fuck you.
He only does that on Thursdays.
What?
Okay? Not today. Don't go looking for him.
Oh, you bastard. I'll deal with you later. Listen, I just lost my job, so, okay, I appreciate the laughter, but, I lost my job. Give me a break already.
It builds character, my friend. I've lost plenty of jobs.
But you're a sick bastard for thinking that.
Here is Chris Coury, the future. And I am Mr. Gargano.
And I will not be at 34th Street. Don't get your fucking thoughts together, right, you bastard. And
wink. I will not be there. Don't tell the police.
I'm gonna kick your ass. Once the show is over, ladies and gentlemen, you might not hear him next week, okay? Because this son of a bitch is gonna get the beating of a lifetime.
Yeah, we're gonna go and get some mattresses, brother, and we're gonna do Basement Mania downstairs, brother.
Basement Mania?
Brother. Well, anyways, please subscribe, share, tell a friend. Get these views up, man. Here's Chris Coury, the future.
And don't think about me in a skirt because I do not look good in a skirt.
You just keep reminding them about it. You just keep putting the picture back in the... So I'm going to leave you with Chris Coury's video and keep it real and keep it motherfucking raw.
You want me to play the video? You want me to play it?
No, I'm gonna put it in.
Oh, okay.
So see you next week. Keep it real and keep it raw.